Hey guys, it's Angel here and you're watching On Purpose with Angel Brantley. It is really early in the morning and one thing you will learn is that my voice has to warm up. So this is my morning voice. I've already brushed my teeth. I spared you the pain of watching me brush my teeth. I think watching people brush their teeth is disgusting. So I was like, I won't brush my teeth on camera, but I've already brushed my teeth, took off my bonnet and put my little sweatband on and I'm about to work out. Today is just me sharing my morning routine with you and hopefully you are inspired to just figure out how to add a good morning routine in your schedule or just how to just be more intentional with getting yourself ready for the day. All right, let's go. Time to work out. So I am gonna turn the light on because I'm recording and I figured you guys should be able to see me in the recording. I typically work out in the dark or until the sun comes up. I'm up a little earlier and getting to my workout a little earlier. This morning there was a hard homeschool day and I'm just reflecting. Well, I stayed in bed and kind of thought about what I could do different on today to potentially set us up for success. And so after that, I was like, let me get up and just get rolling. So I'm again a little ahead of schedule, about 30 minutes ahead of schedule, and I'm gonna work out and then spend some more time reflecting, and I'll let you guys watch me do that. All right. Guys, so I spared you the details of all of my workout or just seeing the whole thing because I did a longer one today, but it was really good and I feel more energized already. And so you already hear my shower water running. And then I typically come in. Oh, she did the other one. I change out the sweatband to my wet band, whatever it is, like just a little shower. My edges won't get wet. Push that back. Put that on. Sometimes I work out. I've worked out in this before too. But I'm gonna put my bonnet back on. My next step is that I will wash my face and make it a little loud because there's more water. But I'm just gonna put on my cleanser and then I'll get in the shower. Obviously, I'm gonna spare you the details of the shower, but I will come back once I kind of finish up and start the next portion of my morning routine. If you are if you haven't watched my morning routine, I like to be honest, like I'm late to the game of like skincare routine. I've tried it several different times, but I typically won't stick with it because I just don't like a lot of steps. So this year I've recommitted to my skincare just because I'm getting older and I see where it will be beneficial to take better care of my skin. So what I do is put my cleanser on before I get in the shower, and I let it kind of sit while I'm in the shower, and then I'll take it off. I will tell you one thing I've had to like mentally take a note of is that I will like get out of the shower, start lotioning my body, and it's still on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to take this off. But then when I take it off, like I always lotion my feet last. Although they're clean, I'm like, I don't want to touch that in any other part of my body, like my face or my arms or anything. But I kept making a mistake in like moisturizing my, like lotioning my whole body and then moisturizing my face. That's a no-no. So I don't feel like I need to do the whole skincare routine again. One thing I did forget to mention is that I always like take out my clothes, stack them up, put them on the counter. I have my deodorant and my moisturizer and everything just sitting out. I need to also put out my lotion and my daily hair moisturizer. And I think that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the shower and finish up this part of my morning routine, which is sacred and private, but I'll be back after that. Hey guys, so I'm back. I have actually done a little bit more of my morning routine, but I didn't have the camera on, so that's fine. I am sitting down about to kind of think through a little more of how I can potentially make today a little more successful. As I mentioned earlier, yesterday was a really hard homeschool day, and I just really been thinking about like what can I do better to show up. I'm always looking for ways to be better, and I always actually challenge my girls to show up and be better each day as well. But yesterday was, when I say hard, it wasn't like, oh my God, we didn't get anything done. We got everything done, but just mentally and emotionally, like I was up to here. And I even, in all transparency, I called a public school and I was like, hey, look, what do I need to do in the state of Alabama to enroll my children into public school? And so I got all the information, and although I feel like that was an emotional reaction, to be honest, from what I was feeling, as I began to sit down and think through it, because I'm still very reflective, I'm thinking like, okay, is this what you really want? And I began to weigh it up against, number one, the reason we started homeschooling as a family was because we really wanted the flexibility, and we wanted the time to steward our children very well. I don't think we've ever thought that we'll do it until high school, but I know for a fact we knew that we were going to do it as long as possible. So I think we can always reevaluate it over time, but in this season, I believe this is still what we should be doing. And so even in getting the information, I just was able to wrap my mind around what that would look like. I let myself feel like what those changes would be for us. One of my girls, Emmy, she was sold. She was like, okay, I'll go to public school, and Phoenix was not. And so we're gonna still think about it. We landed on yesterday. We will revisit this conversation when it's time to go to middle school, and I think that's a healthier place for me, because I had to be honest, like even though it's really hard work, it's not work that I'm ready to stop doing. Like I really do enjoy spending this time with my kids and knowing that they're not at school for an extended amount of time. I like that we can randomly pick up and go places. I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she was like, girl, you can't do that because you like being around your husband too much. And I was like, that's true. But if going to public school was best, or going to school in general was best for the girls, then I would have to get over that. Like my husband's still gonna be there, but one of the biggest perks is that we can go and be with him whenever he's away. Now we don't do that all the time, but we like the option. And so I did talk to my husband, and we kind of went back and forth about it a little bit. And Then I talked to a really good friend, and I talked to my mom and my dad, and just talking to a few different people, the more I talked about it, the more I began to get clarity around why enrolling them in a public school right now is just not the best idea. And so this morning I feel a lot better about that, but I still feel like there is some adjustments that need to be made. And if you are a homeschool mom or parent in general, you know, like, there's always room for improvement, and you can always adjust and learn. Today I purposely put on this shirt because in Louisiana I had to name my homeschool, and I named it Together Academy, or our homeschool, Together Academy, and it's a space for students and parents to grow. I purposely put this shirt on today to remind myself, like, we're in this together, and that we all can learn and grow from this experience. And so what I learned on yesterday is that I need to be a little more intentional with both of my girls. Phoenix is very emotional, which I am more like that. Like, I express my emotions not just verbally, but I will cry, you know, that's just me, and she has a lot of that. So I tend to, like, notice what she needs quicker because she responds with her emotions the way that I typically respond, or I used to respond, I should say. I still cry, but she leads with her emotions more. Emmy is more of a thinker. So what I'm realizing is that she needs the attention, but she won't necessarily verbalize it. She'll think about it and she'll internalize her feelings, which, if you know our girls, like, both of them are very expressive, but I think when it comes to, like, vulnerability and expressing what she needs, I think Emmy is not, I'm not even gonna say struggling. I think her personality type, she's just like, I'll get over it, I'll be fine, I'm done. And so when I realized that on yesterday, I was like, I need to find a way to meet that need without her even saying it. Because right now she may not know how to express it. Like, she does not want you to see her cry. If Emmy cries, it's like very quick tears. It's like my husband is right here. Baby, can you attest to that? Like, Emmy just will not cry long. Have you ever noticed, like, she'll take the glasses off, let a tear or two drop, and then she's like, she'll suck it up. She's not a crier. And so because I realized that, I think that as a mother, I've actually missed the opportunity to nurture her a little more. And so that's what I'm kind of going into today with, thinking about ways to be more intentional. I was telling Marquise yesterday, like, it's so frustrating because both of the girls are really smart, but they're smart in different ways. And you never want to, like, compare your kids, but you do have to look at the reality and the truth of, like, okay, this is a strong area for this kid and a weak area for this kid, and help them recognize it and leverage each other in those moments. But Emmy is just, she catches on so quickly that sometimes it frustrates me that it takes her so long to do certain things, and I'm like, this could take you 3 minutes and it's taking you 30. But I realize that she will do better, and she does better when I am closer to her. And I often feel like, because she's so smart, I'm like, Emmy, just go do your English, do that, you know, and no, I'm gonna help things over here, and then if you need me, just call me. Or I will start helping her, but I'm like, oh girl, you got it. And then when I leave, she slows down. And so with that understanding, I need to move with wisdom, and understanding that just because she does not express her emotions or feelings the way that Phoenix does, that she still needs that one-on-one with me, and more of it. So that's how I'm going to move forward on today. As I mentioned earlier in the recording, like, I do a lot of reflecting. Is because I really want to be the very best version of myself. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be perfect, but I think not thinking about your actions, and I'll make it personal, not thinking about my actions, and using my memory not to beat myself up, but to allow myself to see areas where I may have missed it, or where I did really well, and kind of like allow my brain to process it and move forward with an awareness. So again, I am going to purposely start with Emmy on today, and then I'm going to there's a few apps that I feel like we've kind of like let drop, so we're gonna reestablish some. We really liked Homer a few years ago, so I'm gonna set up that account so that the girls can have Homer time, and they used to really enjoy that, and it will be really fun for them because they'll get iPod or iPad time throughout the week, because we don't use the iPod or iPads until the weekends. And so they'll get to do Homer, and that'll take each girl about 20 minutes, because it's like this whole, I want to say timeline, but it's like there's a series of things that you have to complete each time you get on for each kid. And so it'll take about 20 to 30 minutes. In that time, I'll be able to sit with each girl and just really zoom in and focus on what they need. This could be frustrating this could have been frustrating had I allowed it to be, because technically we're in the second semester and now I'm having to change it up. But that's the benefit of being a homeschool family. Like, you can change it up, you can make adjustments, and I'm trying to focus on not being my own enemy. Like, don't cause yourself unnecessary pain. So if you need to change and adjust here, just do it so that you can get the results that everyone is looking for. No one wants to have a stressful day or a hard day. You know, again, we're in this together, and so I believe that me thinking through this will manifest in my interactions with the girls on today, and that they will be in a better mood. So I'm gonna actually try to record that today, just so it can be real time, so you guys can see where how we implement that. But if not, I'll do it another day, because they're not up yet, and I don't know what mood they're gonna be in, and I wanna be able to serve them in the best way that they need when they wake up and just throughout the day. So anyway, that's pretty much my morning routine. I've worked out, I've done a lot of reflecting. Instead of like my podcast or even reading scripture this morning, I used that time to pray and allow God to just show me, allow me to see where I can step it up in various areas of my life. And then I am now going to put things into action. So I did a lot of reflecting. I've showered, I've done my skincare routine, and now I'm sitting down about to just put what I just said to you kind of on paper, or at least in an email, so I can capture these thoughts and move forward with an understanding. The last thing that I will do is I will go over you can't really see that. I gotta work on my, zooming in stuff, because I feel like every time I try to show you something, it's blurry. But the last thing that I will do is go over my index cards. I didn't really do this with an intention for the girls to notice that I have to still learn, but I realized that when they saw me with these flashcards, they were like, wait, what are you doing? Why do you have flashcards? And I was like, oh, mommy still has to learn. And they actually saw Marquise and I repeating and going over these are actually scriptures that we are learning for one of our life groups. And so they were like, what are y'all doing? And Marquise like, we're remembering scripture for our life group, and they talked about it a little later, and I was explaining to them like, hey, you have flashcards and I have them too. And I thought it was just a really, it wasn't planned, but it was just a good opportunity to let them know, you're always learning. Right now they feel like I'm a kid, and they often say this actually, you guys are adults, that's why it's so much easier. I'm like, it's not easy, baby. This is just something that we've learned. If you want to grow, you have to put yourself in a space of a student. And although in your mind I'm teaching you everything, I'm also learning, and I have to continue to learn if I want to continue to grow. And my dad used to always say, if you're not learning, you're dead. If you're not growing, you are dead. And we know that to be true with plants and flowers and trees, but not always with ourselves. Like if you are not putting yourself in a position to grow and learn and change and develop, then you are dying. You may be dying slowly, but you really are just not living to your full potential. And so, yeah, I think that's all that I'm gonna do. I'll go over what we're gonna, their lessons. I'm gonna set up stuff for them, and then we're gonna get our day rolling. It's now 8 o'clock. They're not awake yet, but they did go to bed a little later than our typical bedtime. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. They were probably closer to 10 o'clock last night, which is our bedtime, but they're gonna rest. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm gonna let their bodies naturally wake up. Unless it's another hour, then I'll probably start giving more, like a little push to get up. And Emmy, I love her, she'll say, every time she'll say, just give me 5 more minutes. And so I just start being smart about it. I'm like, okay, she's gonna ask for 5 more minutes, so I need to go in there or sooner than I really would go, so that she can still get up by the time I would like her to be up. So if she's asleep until like 8:45, 8:50, I'm gonna go in and be like, hey, time to wake up. And she's absolutely gonna ask for 5 more minutes. And I'm gonna give it to her because I just wanna make sure that we get started by 9. So, again, I hope that the things that I share here will motivate, inspire, and encourage you to be the best version of yourself. I really just want you to lean in and see how you can be better. You know, how you can, if you're homeschooling, how can you show up better each day? For me, this morning routine helps me be reflective and show up for my girls. And I feel like, as well, I've shown up for myself. I physically feel well, emotionally I'm in a good space, and yeah, I'm good. So think about what can you do to do this in your everyday life as well. I love you guys so much. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.